welcome you in the lecture series of Basics of Communication Engineering. It is fifth lecture of this lecture series. In the previous lecture, we have discussed about what is signal, characteristics of a periodic signal, and transmission impairments. In this lecture, we will mainly discuss about need for modulation technique. The outline of this lecture are why modulation, types of modulation techniques, and types of communication applications. And in the objective of this lecture, you will able to explain the need for modulation technique, the different types of modulation techniques, and types of communication application. So first of all, we will start with the why modulation, why we need modulation. So the first point, uh, you know, the the transmitter couples the input message signal to the channel. That is, message signal MT is converted to the transmitter signal ST to the channel. The transmitter also perform many operations, uh, includes amplification, filtering, and modulation. The most important of these operations is the modulation, and modulation is the process designed to match the properties of this message signal to the channel through the use of carrier wave. So in this process, we use the analog signal and carrier wave or sinusoidal signal, and these are combined, and I will get my transmitted signal. This process of analog to analog conversion is known as analog modulation or continuous wave modulation. The analog message signal is known as modulating signal or baseband signal. In this process, we manipulate one or more parameters of the carrier wave in accordance with the modulating signal, and with this we will get the modulated signal. So modulation is required to match the properties of the transmitted signal to the channel properties for reducing noise and interference. And second point, when we are doing modulation, one important operation that is being performed on the signal is known as frequency translation. What it does, it translates the signal from one region of frequency domain to another region. Just like here, suppose this is the frequency representation of the signal, means the signal is in this frequency range. You have frequency component from f1 to f2. By modulation, this signal can be translated to another frequency range, says you can say f1 dash to f2 dash. Now this is the frequency range, this is much higher than that of f1 and f2. So this is our modulated signal, and we have translated into f1 dash to f2 dash frequency range. In this translation, information content of the transmitted signal is such that the original signal can be recovered from it. Now you may ask, what is the benefit of this? One important benefit of this is that you will able to use an antenna of practical size. Suppose that the distance between two antenna is d. So if you are using two antenna and distance between two antenna is d, and antenna height, it is h. So the minimum antenna height, it is equal to c by f, or you can say we can write it as c by f. This is lambda, so it is 1 by lambda by 4. So the antenna height should be wavelength by 4. Here you can say whenever you want to translate of baseband signal or message signal to higher frequency, which can be transmitted through a baseband channel using an antenna of small size. Just like if you are trying to send 1 kilohertz signal, so the wavelength will be lambda is equal to c by f, 3 into 10 is to the power 8 by 1 into 10 is to the power 3. It is 30 kilometer. So wavelength, so the minimum antenna height, it will be lambda by 4, 7.5 kilometer. The antenna of this size is impractical. You cannot do it. So now if you translate your baseband signal to the higher frequency, say you can say 10 megahertz. So now the wavelength will be it is 30 meter, and the minimum antenna height, it will be 7.5 meter. It is quite possible to have antenna of this size. So after translating baseband signal to higher frequency, or we can say after modulation, we can have antenna of smaller size, and then this modulated signal can be transmitted very easily using smaller antenna. And of course at other end, after receiving it, you have to do demodulation, which we will discuss in the coming lectures. And third point, important benefit of modulation is the narrow banding. Narrow banding means the ratio between highest to lowest frequency becomes close to 1. Suppose you are trying to send a frequency range of high fidelity audio frequency range 20 to 20 kilohertz, 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, and it is hi-fi audio. Here the ratio of highest frequency to the lowest frequency is quite high, that is 20 kilohertz to 20 hertz, it is 1000. If you design an antenna for highest frequency, then it will not be suitable for the transmission of the lowest frequency. So a single antenna will not able to cover or not able to transmit both the signal efficiently and effectively. Now suppose you modulate using 1 megahertz signal carrier. So now after modulating this 20 hertz signal, lowest frequency signal using 1 megahertz carrier, you will get the signal frequency modulated signal frequency, it is 10 is to the power 6 plus 20 hertz. And for the highest frequency signal 20 kilohertz, and by modulating with the 1 megahertz carrier, it will be 10 is to the power 6 plus 20 into 10 is to the power 3 hertz. So now if you take the ratio between these two, the ratio will be around 1.002. So if you design the antenna for highest frequency, then it will be able to send the lowest frequency, because the ratio of these highest to lowest frequency is around 1. And in other words, a single antenna will be able to transmit both the frequency efficiently and effectively, and this is known as narrowbanding. Now, the fourth necessity of modulation is to avoid mixing of the signals. If the baseband sound signals are transmitted without using modulation by more than one transmitter, then all the signals will be in the same frequency range, you can say from 0 to 20 kilohertz. So all the signals get mixed together and the receiver cannot separate them from each other. So if each baseband sound signals is used to modulate at a different carrier, then they will occupy different slots in the frequency domain, different channels. So the modulation avoid the mixing here. Just like here, three baseband signals I am going to transmit. If I transmit these signal as it is, then from different transmitters, then these signal will be mixed together and receiver cannot separate them. But if I'm doing the modulation, the first baseband signal I have modulated with the carrier of 300 kilohertz. Now this 0 to 20 kilohertz signal is translated to 280 to 320 kilohertz, and the second baseband signal is modulated with the carrier of 200 kilohertz. Now this signal 0 to 20 kilohertz is translated to 180 to 220 kilohertz frequency range, and third signal is modulated with the 100 kilohertz. Now this signal is translated, this 0 to 20 kilohertz is translated to 80 to 120 kilohertz frequency range. Now we can have three different channels to avoid the mixing of these signals between 0 to 20 kilohertz. So this is we can use to avoid the mixing. Now, the fifth benefit of the is the multiplexing. Multiplexing is the process in which two or more signals can be transmitted over the same communication channel simultaneously, and this process with only modulation. So many TV signals you can see the same frequency range without getting mixed together, uh, or different frequency signal can be transmitted at the same time. And the sixth advantage of modulation is to increase the range of communication. The frequency of baseband signal is low, and low frequency signals cannot travel a long distance when they are transmitted. They get heavily attenuated. Attenuation reduced with increase the frequency of the transmitted signal, and they travel long distance. And seventh necessity of the modulation is to improve the quality of the reception, since there is a reduction of noise to a great extent compared to noise in baseband signal. So without modulation, the transmission of baseband signal or message signal cannot be possible with certain medium, that is, it cannot be used for the radio transmission where the medium in free space. The baseband signal transmission is the transmission of the original information signal as it is. The example of baseband transmission is the telephone network, where the sound signal converted into the electrical signal and placed directly to the telephone lines for the transmission. Another example of baseband transmission is the computer data transmission over coaxial cables in the computer network. And the radio communication of baseband signals is only possible due to the modulation. Now, the types of modulation. We know modulation is a technique in which one of the characteristic amplitude, frequency, or phase of the sinusoidal carrier is changed in accordance with the instantaneous value of the modulating signal. Now, there are two types of modulation: continuous wave modulation and pulse modulation. Continuous wave modulation, it is again of two type: amplitude modulation and angle modulation. Angle modulation is again of two types: frequency modulation, phase modulation. Pulse modulation is of two types: pulse analog modulation and pulse digital modulation. Pulse analog modulation is pulse amplitude modulation PAM, pulse width modulation PWM, pulse position modulation PPM, and pulse digital modulation is pulse code modulation, delta modulation, adaptive delta modulation. In continuous wave modulation, if the amplitude of the high frequency carrier is varied in accordance with the instantaneous amplitude of the baseband signal and keeping its frequency and phase constant, then such a technique is known as amplitude modulation. And in continuous wave modulation, if the angle of the frequency carrier wave is varied in accordance with the instantaneous amplitude of the baseband signal keeping its amplitude and phase constant, then such a technique is known as the frequency modulation. And if the phase of the high frequency carrier wave is varied in accordance with the instantaneous amplitude of the baseband signal keeping amplitude and frequency constant, then this is known as baseband signal. In pulse modulation, a periodic sequence of rectangular pulses are used as a carrier. In this periodic sequence of rectangular pulses are used as carrier, and here we are using continuous wave of high frequency as a carrier. In pulse analog modulation technique, if the amplitude or duration or position of a pulse is varied in accordance with the instantaneous value of the baseband modulating signal, then such techniques are known as pulse amplitude modulation, pulse duration or width modulation or pulse position modulation. In pulse digital modulation, the used techniques are pulse code modulation, where the analog signal is converted into digital form 1 0 forms and we get uh, coded pulse train. Another technique is the delta and adaptive delta modulation. We will discuss these in the coming lectures. Now we are going to discuss various communication applications. Most of the applications are very familiar to us. The most common applications are mobile, TV, internet. The applications are divided basically into two types: simplex application and duplex application. Simplex application corresponds to one-way application, whereas duplex application corresponds to two-way applications. The applications of the simplex: amplitude modulation, frequency modulation broadcasting, AM FM broadcasting, TV broadcasting, cable TV, wireless remote control, navigation and direction finding, telemetry, radio astronomy, music services. And duplex applications are telephone, mobiles, two-way radio, radar, sonar, citizen radios, data communication, local area network, health communication using internet or interactive health communication, satellite communication, Wi-Fi, Li-Fi, smartphone controlled traffic signals, and many more applications are there. So this is the end of this lecture. Here we have discussed about why we need for modulation, different types of modulation techniques, and the types of communication application. This was lecture 5th of the lecture series of Basics of Communication Engineering. In the next lecture, I will continue our discussion about amplitude modulation. Till then, thanks for listening this lecture. Thank you.